Welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson, and this week I actually hit the turkey woods with a tag in my pocket and a couple of cameras over my shoulder. Jordan and Gabe and I spent a few days trying to get me a bird on camera. It's been quite a few years since we've done that. You won't want to miss the story. We had a lot of exciting action out there, and Jimmy's got some other fun stuff for us too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have a few more things on this week's show, and we're pretty excited about that turkey hunt with you and Gabe. I know you guys had a lot of fun chasing birds for a few days, and actually Gabe is going to bring us the second story on this week's show. It's part 2 in a 3-part series on food plots. Now, more and more sportsmen and women around the state are putting seed in the ground this time of the year to kind of increase their chances during the deer season, and we're going to get some good tips from Ed Spinazzola, kind of the food plot guru here in the state of Michigan. The last thing we're going to do is stop in at the Rockford Christian School. They recently were down on the Rogue River releasing some salmon, and it was really all part of the Salmon in the Classroom program. So lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's the love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Vanguard, a global manufacturer based in Michigan featuring rifle scopes, binoculars, and spotting scopes with lifetime warranties. Vanguard supplies sporting optics and accessories for the outdoor enthusiast, online at vanguardworld.com. By Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and we kick off this week's show with a couple of turkey hunts. You may remember a few weeks back when Gabe and I were able to tag along with Jimmy for his turkey hunt, killed a nice tom on opening day. Well, a few days after that, we were able to meet up with Jenny and try to get her first bird on camera in quite some time.
Well, it didn't take long at all for our hunt to get started. After a few light calls once the birds hit the ground, we had a 3-pack of jakes work their way right into the decoys. But with a tom gobbling in the background, Jenny elected to pass on these jakes, hoping to get a shot at the longbeard. But it was still fun to watch these jakes interact with the decoys.
That was exciting and frustrating all at once so far this morning. We could hear a gobbler up in the tree. He hit the ground. He came out to a kind of a corner or point here in the woods out into the cut cornfield and started strutting and gobbling. And then he went back in the woods. And then 3 jakes came out and came in picture perfect. They were milling around in the decoys for a while. I'm sure Jordan and Gabe have some awesome footage of that, but I haven't shot a bird in a few years, but there's no way I could shoot a jake when we see that long beard and we can hear him back in the woods. And he's just continued for the last hour to gobble his head off back in there. So it sounds like he's finally moving into the woods a little bit more. So Gabe said, let's pick up and try to move in on him. So that's what we're gonna do.
We hunted the rest of the morning without ever having another opportunity, but the next day we were back at it, hunting the same property but near a different roost site. We knew there were plenty of birds around, but the trick would be getting a longbeard within range of Jenny's 12 gauge. Well, different day, same result. Once again, we had plenty of opportunities to shoot a jake, but never could get a tom within range. The next day, we decided to switch things up and head to a different piece of property over in Oakland County.
Well, we're here in Oakland County on some private property. A friend of mine invited me to come out and hunt here. They've got some turkeys around here, and we've got all day to try to hunt, and we are a week and a half into a 2-week season. I've got the first season tag, so we put a lot of miles on. Gabe and Jordan and I have been running and gunning all over, it seems. So we're trying out this property for the very first time, so we'll see what happens. I've got a lot of confidence because these guys are good at calling and good at setting up in the right spot to ambush a bird. So we'll see what happens.
After a few failed setups, we decided to run and gun a little bit until we heard a bird gobble. Sure enough, a couple of hours later, we heard what we were looking for in a nearby ravine. It sounded like there were 2 toms, and with Gabe also having a license for the first season, we decided to set up in hopes of getting a double on camera. These 2 toms were locked in, and although they were within range for Jenny, they had to come a little closer for Gabe's 410 pistol. With the birds at ease, we decided to let them get as close as possible. As the 2 toms worked their way in, they began to separate, which made the likelihood of getting a double on camera pretty small. We decided that Jenny would shoot first, and Gabe would do his best to get a shot at the second bird afterwards.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Well, kind of a swing and a miss with the pistol. Didn't have a great shot, but whew, nice job. That's a big bird.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to go see him.
Look at the hooks on him.
Woo!
And he's going for the beard.
Yeah, I'm going for the beard first.
Beautiful Eastern.
Yeah, he's got some nice spurs.
Yeah.
Respectable. An inch probably.
Very cool. Man, you just like Jordan was saying, you know, a lot of times you don't have midday birds that strut the whole time.
Yeah.
They strutted from the moment we saw them How long did that take?
Oh, it seemed like eternity. Oh, man.
What were you thinking when it took them so long to get up there?
We've had a lot of hours in running and gunning with the three of us so far in the last week and a half, and I just thought, come on, we need a break. Because yesterday we had those 11 birds in the field and a bunch of them strutting all at once, and they just wouldn't come in. But the difference today was we actually had the decoy out and had a chance to set up, and that was so cool when they came in.
You passed up some jakes.
Yeah.
And then you passed up some jakes. And then you passed up some jakes. And what happens? You get a longbeard.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
For sure.
I mean,
Cool.
you got to be able to enjoy the season. You can't just kill a bird the first day.
Like
so.
Jimmy Gratzinger, for instance.
Jimmy's like that.
20-minute hunt.
Yeah.
Done.
That's no fun. You got to hunt the whole season. Beautiful.
Well, Jenny's patience paid off. After we took care of her bird, I had to hit the road, but Jenny and Gabe continued hunting, hoping to fill Gabe's tag. It didn't take them long at all to find more birds, and within minutes of getting set up, they had a nice tom working his way along the field edge.
Dude, rock yet, is he? Oh no, not close. He's got another 15 yards. Okay. I'm recording. Okay, I'm rolling. Ready? Yeah.
Rolling?
Okay, yeah. Good word. What in the world?
Well, that was a heck of a hunt. Hunted with Jenny and Jordan all morning long. It's been a blast. I haven't hunted with Jenny in a long time. Jenny hasn't turkey hunted in a long time. I haven't hunted with her in a long time. It's been a blast all day long. Jordan had to get going. I dropped the handgun. I picked up Jenny's gun and killed a turkey. We had a bunch of turkeys behind us, and I'll tell you what, just couldn't get them to come in, but there were some gobblers over here. Called them down this edge. I just kept scratching in the leaves and soft calling, and here he come right down that edge. We came over here and hunted with a friend in the Oakland County area, and it was pretty neat. It's unbelievable land, and he did a great job scouting the birds for us, and I don't get to get out on scouted birds very often. I have to do the scouting myself, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Turkey season. You gotta love it.
Well, it was a great couple of days in the turkey woods, and with Jimmy, Jenny, and Gabe all tagged out, it looks like I won't have a tough time finding a cameraman for the second season.
It's that time of year again that we start planning food plots for deer, and who better to speak to on the subject than the food plot guru himself, Ed Spinizzola.
We are at what I call is the observation blind, and here we got a little bit crazy. This is open land. I farmed it for years, 15 years. In '96, I retired from farming, and we planted, there's 7.5 acres of corn here planted just normally, and a 4-acre kill plot. I call it the ultimate firearm corn-based kill plot. Corn is the answer. What did we plant? Corn. In a way the deer feel like, you can't see me, but you can from an elevated blind and not very high. This is expensive. It's not for everybody, but if you got open land and you say you can't do anything, oh yes you can. It's going to cost you some bucks. And we'll go cover where it's not that expensive. We're going to cover everybody so you can have a lot of fun. Here we are in the middle of the corn-based ultimate firearm kill plot. And on either side of me, as we talked earlier, is 2 rows of corn planted normally. I have a 6-row corn planter. I don't farm anymore. You disconnect the 2 rows in the middle. You have a 7.5-foot space between there. And then you have 2 more rows of corn. The deer are going to be coming in here, and this plot will not work unless it's surrounded with cover. The best cover you can have is more corn, planted normally. You can harvest it, pay for some of it. But in this case here, this is CRP land. It's not harvested. I let it stand for them all winter long. I have some that I will harvest, about 4 acres. There's at least 3 acres I let stand for the deer. Now, so you have an idea. What do we plant? Sometime, your target date to me is probably May 10th in mid-Michigan. As you get further south, further north, you change. Let the latitude dictate. First of all, you find a spot, you're going to put your kill plot, and it can't be too large. Where I'm standing is 4 acres of this stuff. 4. And it goes around, over there. You got a 180-degree line of fire, and it comes. And your corn, whatever you plant surrounding this, has got to go all the way to where you think the deer are bedding, even if it happens to be your neighbor's woods. You're going to suck them out of the woods, and they'll come into your property because why? You got corn. Any corn. Now you want them to come into your kill plot. Why should it come to your kill plot? It's just more corn. No. There's soybeans to bring the deer in, and planted with the soybeans is Roundup Ready sugar beets. Roundup Ready corn, Roundup Ready soybeans, Roundup Ready sugar beets. Everything is planted in a kill plot, no more than 1/3 the normal seeding rate, so that everything can grow. Very important. The soybeans will be gone, they'll be dead, but we plant soybeans again, but that's for the bow site, and we'll cover that. Later on, this is July 20th. In about 10 days, I'm going to come here and broadcast Forage Rape, a brassica blend. I'm going to come back here 1 month later, September the 1st, and I'm going to broadcast grain. 10 pounds, well, by the way, the brassica is only broadcast no more than 2 pounds, 1.5 pounds. In order to broadcast that, you're probably going to have a hard time. But you've seen Reed broadcast. Mix it with clay-based cat litter, as small as granular, or if you can get maybe pelletized lime, that works too, or anything else. It's very difficult to broadcast 2 pounds or 1.5 pounds of forage rape. The brassica we plant is our blend. We have it. There's a minimum of 8 different seeds. Think of 2 turnips. There's kale. Kale, that's what you eat in restaurants. That's right, and so do deer. That's their preferred brassica. Canola. Yeah, canola, and other assortment of New Zealand forage rape. Then I come here and I'll broadcast a grain blend 1 month later, September the 1st. That's the target date. That's just a month before opening day, boom. And I'll broadcast with my quad. I'll just go driving through here. If I knock down some corn, I got lots of it. And I'm going to broadcast no more than 30 pounds, 25 to 30 pounds of a grain blend. That's what I recommend. 10 pounds of oats, 10 pounds of winter rye grain, and 10 pounds of winter wheat. Mix it up and broadcast it. That's 30 pounds per acre, no more than that. Think of September the 1st. You've given the deer everything. And someplace maybe on the side of this, make sure you plant some kind of perennial. A permanent clover field. We have everything. We have to find the right soil. If we haven't got the right soil, we have to correct it. Make sure your pH is a minimum of 6.0. Don't plant it in sand. Don't plant it in clay. Try to get some decent land. If I don't know, this applies to a lot of you. You really don't know, do you? Broadcast 300 pounds of triple 19 fertilizer per acre. Work it into the ground 4 inches deep prior to seeding anything. So we're talking, in this case here, before May 10th. What's the fertilizer after that? Well, let's take it sequence. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to plant your corn. In this case here, I plant with a drill. You can broadcast your soybeans and sugar beets, mix them together, 1/3. No more than 33 pounds of soybeans. That's not even a bag per acre. Mix it with Roundup Ready sugar beets. No wonder they love it.
If you'd like information on Ed's full-length food plot DVD, be sure to check out our website in the next couple weeks and we'll have the information there.
Well, like we said earlier, more and more people are putting in food plots all around the state of Michigan. Thanks to Ed Spinazzola for sharing a little bit of knowledge with us. And speaking about sharing some knowledge, we're going to stop in with some 6th and 7th graders right now that we're learning a lot about the Great Lakes fishery here in the state of Michigan. There are a lot of great schools around the state of Michigan, and one of them is the Rockford Christian School just north of Grand Rapids. Today I was here to see some fish released into the Rogue River as part of the great program, Salmon in the Classroom.
Today we are releasing our salmon. We've had them since October, the end of October. We got them as little tiny eggs, probably about the size of a pea, and had them for about a month before they hatched. And then we've been feeding them, and today is finally the release day. So we have about 170, 180, they're hard to count when they move, fish that we are putting into the Rogue River up in Rockford. I think it promotes conservation. You know, they see how water quality is important, and we can look at, you know, the Rogue River and other rivers and how do we, you know, incorporate water quality and keeping the river clean so that the fish can survive and we can see another part of Michigan. Find a spot somewhere along the bank here, and then we'll do a little countdown. And 6th graders, when we release them, it's not up.
The 6th and 7th grade classes had raised these fish from about October, and today was the big release date. Local Trout Unlimited chapter was involved in making sure this program was possible.
Well, I'm a board member of the local Shrems chapter of Trout Unlimited, and so we're eager to see how these kids do with their project here. We supplied them with the fish eggs and with the tank and equipment, and we're just eager to see how that turns out.
Now, why is this something that Trout Unlimited wanted to be a part of?
Well, we want kids to become land conservators, water conservators, and be active in their communities and know something about the ecosystem. And so this is a great way to do it. They get attached to these fish and they want them to succeed, and if they learn about cold water resources, they'll want cold water resources to succeed. So it's great for all sorts of things, because if you have a good trout stream, there's a lot of other things that are going well too.
After the release of the fish, there were several stations set up with many local fishermen helping to make this possible as well, helping to teach kids about the habitat that these fish were now in, how to calculate the speed of the river, when do these fish come back to spawn, all important things to be learning and passing on to the next generation. Thanks to the Rockford Christian School for including this in their curriculum, and thanks to Trout Unlimited and its volunteers for going above and beyond and helping to educate these kids about the importance of not only trout streams, but the importance of keeping them as a very valuable part of our outdoor landscape here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Good luck to all of you who are still holding turkey tags that need to be filled out there. It's a great time of year to be getting out and chasing after those big long beards. Make sure you check us out online when you get a chance. You can do it a couple of different ways on our website at MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com and on our Facebook page at Michigan Out of Doors TV. We've got a lot of fun stuff in store for you coming up over the next few weeks.
Well, there is a lot of good stuff coming over the next few weeks here on Michigan Out of Doors, and over the last 4 or 5 weeks we've had some really strong turkey hunts. That's going to continue. Next week we're going to see a young hunter take his very first bird. That is always a lot of fun. We're also going to have some viewer video coming over the next several weeks. We've had lots of folks sending in some videos that I think a lot of you would want to see. And of course we've been out doing a lot of spring fishing. Trout opener, we didn't do so well on the actual opener, but the trout fishing has improved since then. We're going to have some good stories from the trout streams around the state of Michigan. And then we're also going to have part 3 in our food plot series for next week. The morels are popping, so we've got a few cameras in the woods chasing those down. So lots happening right now in the state of Michigan if you are a sportsman. And hey, if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises of Munising, exploring Lake Superior's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore with its sandstone cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and lighthouses. Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises on the web at picturedrocks.com. By the Department of Natural Resources Fisheries Division, reminding fishermen that they are our first line of defense in stopping aquatic invasive species. To minimize the risk of invasives, it is required by law to properly dispose of live bait after your fishing trip. By doing so, you help protect Michigan's world-class fishery. By Propane, Clean American Energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas energy in homes, farms, and businesses across our great state. Learn more at usemichiganpropane.com. By Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth. Michigan made for over 18 years, Lucky Buck on the web at luckybuck.com. Closed captioning is provided by the Michigan Propane Gas Association, Clean American Energy. Propane realtors promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas to outdoor enthusiasts across our great state.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above,